So Luke Hill now, hired gun for the day. We're going to go from slowest to fastest here at Baskerville. The slowest in Australia's Best Drivers car this year, MX-5, with a minute 05.786.
Yeah, look, I think a good chassis, just waiting for an engine. It just lacks power.
Some of these corners that tighten up makes for a car that turns a bit better. It does roll too much. It has this funny sort of feeling in the back.
The next quickest was the Mini at 105.319, so pretty close.
Close. It did everything sort of reasonably well, but just the time wasn't there.
A little bit of understeer, of course. You can use quite tall gears. It pulls pretty well.
Then onto the Renault Clio 220, 105.149.
Yeah, I think what let that down was just the wheel spin out of corners. You just could not put the power down with that car.
Probably a little bit too much understeer. Probably do with a slightly better diff.
Audi RS3, a bit surprising at 102.842.
Yeah, look, great sounding engine. I wanted this car to be faster than what it was, but it just puts too much weight on that outside tyre and just understeers far too much for mine.
Heavy engine over the front, four-wheel drive. Again, just lots of understeer.
The next number will be pretty controversial because I think some of our readers thought this car would be a lot quicker. The Falcon XR6 Sprint at a 102.830.
Yeah, look, really surprising. Like on the road, don't rate it. On the track, it's redeemed itself. Heaps of torque. Only one negative, you just got to use second gear too often. I think it'd even be faster again if it had a better spread of ratios.
Heaps of grunt, like it's got a lot of torque, but the torque's too high in the RPM, so I've got to use second gear everywhere, which is not ideal on a little circuit like this, but I think it gets it all done in terms of straight line.
Jaguar, the F-Type all-wheel drive, 102.716.
Yeah, look, great chassis, good brakes. It sounds horrible for me, but it just doesn't have any power. Like, it just feels like it's just making all this noise and not going anywhere.
It's quite taily actually, which probably actually helps around a circuit like this with the corners that tighten up on themselves, but makes a lot of noise with not much action. That's what's disappointing about this car. To me, it sounds like a HQ Holden.
Commodore SS v Redline, 102.645, and you look like you're having a lot of fun with that car.
Yeah, look, I probably had the most fun in that car, believe it or not. That car you can just drive on the throttle. It turns just amazingly well for a big, obviously, V8 in the front, rear drive, super fun car.
It's got a little bit of turn to mid-corner, to exit oversteer, just depending on how you hold your mouth. It really is a lot of fun, and I'll tell you what, bang for buck, this car is just awesome.
Peugeot 308 GTI 270 at 102.643.
Look, I can't believe that car. That car is phenomenally good. Well suited to this track anyway. It just has so much torque and punch. It turns well, puts its power down extremely well.
Wow, what a surprise packet. Using tall gears, really loves pulling against it. Just hate the seating position, just hate the fact that I can't see the gauge. Also hate the fact that the tacho goes the wrong way. Get your head around it, but just frustrating.
Mustang GT, the V8, 101.680, the first of the cars into the ones.
Yeah, look, that car does most things really well, and I think that's where it gets its lap time from. I was surprised at the lap time. It's basically a 7 in everything. 7 for turn, 7 for power down, 7 for overall grip. It just sort of does everything pretty well.
The LSA 101.410.
Yeah, look, that car gets all its lap time in straight line performance, that's for sure. It really does have a strong engine, and it's jetting down that back straight, I don't know, at unbelievable speeds. If anything, just that front tyre, lack of front feel, that understeer in the front really lets it down.
Expected a little bit more like the SSV, to be fair. Just not quite the same, not quite as fun either, believe it or not.
BMW M2, our third fastest, 0.588 off a minute dead.
That car is great. It does everything very well. You know what I mean? If anything, what's probably let it down in this competition is a lack of straight line.
A lot of fun, auto down blip, which is good. Not too much understeer, just has a slight oversteer tendency to it.
The Mercedes AMG C63S at a 101.396, very close to the Beamer.
Super surprised at that car because it felt terrible, but the lap time was there. You can fry the rear tyres at any speed in any gear, any part on the track. Very difficult to drive on the limit, but again, the lap time's there, you can't argue.
Just oversteer, his city everywhere.
fastest car at a 58.680, so near enough to 2 seconds faster than the nearest car.
Yeah, look, I probably expected it to be quick, but probably not that fast. It does everything super well. The only negative it had was the second last corner where the road cambers away a little bit, had a little bit of understeer, but extremely well balanced, heaps of punch, really good brakes. You just can't fault it.
It's been very impressive. Geez, it stops well. Just elevated grip level everywhere in this car. Just a little bit of understeer on the crown of the surface onto the front straight here, but I'm flat all the way down across the start-finish line.
For the lack of calling it what it is, it's a Porsche 911 Carrera S, yeah?
Sure is.
Be faster with PDK?
Definitely. PDK, it lets it down a little bit. It'd be half a second in that for sure. That'd probably be consistent among all the other cars without PDK gearboxes as well.